Hi, I'm Simon Hibbert. I'm one of our technical directors as part of the civil structures team. My background is rail, light rail and heavy rail. So the project I'm going to be talking about is Parkhead Viaduct. This is works that we've been doing for about 5 years now with the Midland Metro Alliance, working for West Midlands Combined Authority. Parkhead Viaduct was originally built as a timber trestle. I think it was 1850s. It was then replaced or clad in brickwork around 1880. That structure stood the test of time and was in operation until 1994, when the last freight train passed over that structure. And over the years, the level of the ballast was increased. So when it was finally decommissioned, the ballast was circa 3 foot above the top of the parapet. And obviously, if you imagine a tube of toothpaste, as you squeeze down, that squirts it out sides. So we were seeing issues with the parapets and spandrel walls oversailing the arch walls below. We've basically been involved since the optioneering stage. So we looked at options that had been prepared by previous consultants on the scheme, and we basically started with a blank sheet of paper to determine if there was any other solutions that were possible. So originally the plan was to demolish the structure and build a new structure in its place. However, we saw the benefits of retaining that structure from a sustainability perspective as well as a health and safety perspective, and then utilising new elements within that structure. We can actually retain that and allow it to have another 120 years life. So internally we collaborated with our geotechnical team, and as part of the alliance, we're made up of other organisations. So we've got Pell Frischmann, Tony G's and Aegis that make up that alliance from a design perspective. From the very early concept stage, we got around the table, we discussed the potential options, we understood the pitfalls of each one, rather than just going, this is a structured solution, we'll get to the end of our design and then go, make it work, geotech. It's much better to bring them along for a ride and basically get everybody involved as required as the design progresses. So as part of that scheme, we've done assessments, we've done inspections, we've had men hanging off the structure using rope access, we've cored through the structure, we've done window samples. Geotechnics have looked at stability of the structure from a settlement perspective, and then we've designed a solution to retain the existing aesthetics of the structure while strengthening it for the loads that it needs to require going forward. We did our individual disciplines works, we brought it all together in Navisworks, which then allows us to do 3D clash detection, all the different disciplines, so we can understand elements of the structure that clashes with, say, drainage, and then come up with a proposal of how we mitigate that clash in the design phase, so that when we get to construction it should be in theory clash free and the delivery should be very, very streamlined from that perspective. We've got a solution that's now being constructed. So over the last 18 months or so, the structure's progressed through the brickwork repairs, which we were undertaking to stabilise the structure in its current position before we come in and take material off the top of the structure, assessing it to make sure that we can remove that material and not destabilise the arches, and then putting the permanent works solution in, which is a concrete trough that carries the horizontal loads from the proposed metro and heavy rail loadings, and tying that into the existing parapets. So all that process has been built in and everybody's been brought along for that journey. Once this stage of the project's complete, that unlocks the rest of the corridor to be used as a haul road, that allows us to build the next phase of the metro. So the first phase takes you to Dudley, which will be operational next year, I believe. And then this is the first part of that next stage. So we did this as advanced works to allow for that future construction programme and using it as a haul road to get materials down the corridor. because it's quite a linear scheme from one end to the other. So that brings loads of benefits for the construction team. When the metro system opens up, this opens up a passenger service that was last utilised in sort of 30 years ago. So this provides real connectivity across the network. It will allow you to be able to get to Wolverhampton and to Birmingham from the Black Country, which is quite difficult. Currently there's no direct rail services. Buses are obviously slowed down because they're using the highway, so it gives a segregated corridor, a reliable service, and obviously a green transport solution.